People say that when you grow old, marriage becomes peaceful, and couples can finally relax and enjoy their golden years. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Well, let me tell you the truth. No, it doesn't work that way. In fact, the older you get, the more complicated things can become. Take me, for example. I'm 80 years old, and I've been married to my wife for over half a century. And my wife, oh boy, she's as picky as ever. Everything has to be discussed. Whether the soup is too salty, where the TV remote is, and even how many times the kids should call us each week. And let me tell you, when she talks, it's like thunder rolling in. Me, I never argue back. Not because I'm afraid, but because I have a much smarter way of handling things. Arguing just drains your energy, but staying silent all the time will only build up frustration. So, I choose neither. I don't fight back, I just steer the conversation in another direction. If she's in the mood to nag, I just quietly redirect her train of thought or pretend to be clueless until she forgets why she was mad in the first place. Sometimes when she's mumbling about something, I just smile and say, "You're absolutely right, dear." And just like that, the storm passes. Handling a wife isn't about winning or losing. It's about finding a way to live together and still be happy. The story of the TV remote. People always say that once you grow old, marriage becomes peaceful, and couples can finally relax and enjoy their golden years. Sounds wonderful, right? Well, let me tell you the truth. Absolutely not. I'm 80 years old, and I've been married to my wife for over half a century. And my wife? Oh boy, she's as picky as ever. Everything has to be discussed, whether the dishwasher is too loud, the garage light was left on, or how many times the kids should call us each week. And let me tell you, when she talks, it's like thunder rolling in. Me, I never argue back. Not because I'm afraid, but because I have a much smarter way of handling things. Take our little nightly battle, the great TV remote war. My wife loves those never-ending emotional dramas, while I only care about news and football. But the moment I pick up the remote, I hear it. Soccer again? What do you even understand about it? Do I argue back? Of course not. Why waste my energy? I just quietly put the remote down and sit next to her to watch. But watching means I have to react, right? So I start asking questions. Wait, that guy is her son? Or her ex-husband? Why is this lady always crying? Oh, let me guess. She got betrayed again? Before I know it, she's too busy explaining everything to me and forgets she was annoyed in the first place. And just like that, I secure a peaceful evening. Then there's the issue of food. I like simple meals. A sandwich, some fried eggs, a hot bowl of soup, and I'm good. But my wife? She loves adding all kinds of spices, following complicated recipes to a T. Cooking is her passion, but also my burden. If I eat without saying anything, trouble is sure to follow. I spend all that time cooking, and you have nothing to say. Now, I'm not foolish enough to reply with, "It's fine." No way. Instead, I slap my thigh and exclaim, "Wow, this is amazing. Even Gordon Ramsay would be impressed." And just like that, she laughs and forgets whatever complaint she had lined up next. You see, after so many years of marriage, arguing is pointless. But staying silent all the time isn't the answer either. The key is to be smart about it. Find a way to keep her happy, keep myself happy, and keep the house peaceful. I never win, but I never lose either. The art of seasoning. I'm old now, and I prefer my food to be mild. Too much salt or spice, and my stomach just can't handle it. But my wife? Oh no, that's not an option. She's been cooking her whole life, a master in the kitchen, and for her, food has to be rich, flavorful, and with a bit of a kick to be truly delicious. The moment I even suggest, "Honey, maybe we could go a little lighter on the salt today," she shoots me a look. I've been cooking for decades. Don't you start teaching me now. Well, I'm not foolish enough to argue. I just keep quiet. But I have my ways. At every meal, I keep a small bowl of water next to me. When I finish eating, I shrug and casually say, "Maybe your hand was a little shaky today. Just a tad too much salt." I say it gently, no criticism, no demands. She doesn't say a word, but the next time, somehow, the seasoning is a little milder. No need to argue. I win without fighting. And then there's the thermostat issue. My wife is always cold. Meanwhile, I can't stand the heat. Even in the peak of summer, when the sun is blazing outside, she's bundled up in a blanket, asking me to turn on the heater. The moment I switch on the air conditioning, she starts grumbling, "Are you trying to freeze me to death?" Of course, I wouldn't dare argue. But again, I have my ways. Every time she complains about the cold, I don't fight back. I just dramatically wrap myself in a blanket, pull on a sweater, and sigh. Fine, turn on the heater. I'll survive, but I might end up as a roasted chicken. Seeing me suffer, she bursts out laughing, and then lets me keep the AC on, just a little, reminding each other to take medicine. The doctor told her to take her medicine on time, but she kept forgetting. Whenever I reminded her, she would snap, "I remember. Stop nagging me." So I kept quiet and didn't remind her anymore. But I had my own way of handling it. The next day, I pretended to forget to take my own medicine. At the exact time, I just sat there, fiddling with things, acting distracted. Eventually, she asked, "Have you taken your medicine yet?" I acted surprised. "Oh, have you taken yours?" She froze for a moment and gave me a sharp look. But then, without saying a word, she went to take her medicine. And from then on, I never had to remind her again. She took it on time by herself. And then there's the matter of her always forgetting her keys. Every time we left the house, I would hear her rummaging around, grumbling, "Where are my keys? Did you take them?" What would I need her keys for? But if I had said, "You put them somewhere, so you should remember where they are," why ask me? Then I'd be in for a whole day of nagging. So instead, I didn't say anything. I quietly placed a small basket by the door, and whenever I found her keys lying around, I would put them there. Then, whenever she forgot her keys, I would gently say, "Try checking the basket by the door." She would give me another sharp look, but the next time she started putting her keys there by herself. No arguments, no reminders. Everything fell into place on its own. The mysterious disappearing keys. My wife loves having the fan blast at full speed, always saying that good airflow makes it easier to sleep. But I'm old now. I can't handle the cold, too much wind, and the next morning, my back and joints ache. When I asked her to turn the fan down, she just waved me off. "If you're cold, just use a blanket. You love complaining too much." Fine, I didn't complain anymore, but I had my own way of handling it. Every night, I let her set the fan however she wanted. But once she fell into a deep sleep, I quietly turned over and lowered the fan speed just a little. Not off completely, just enough so I wouldn't wake up freezing. The next morning, she stretched and sighed in satisfaction. "See, doesn't this feel much more comfortable?" I just smiled gently and said, "Yes, dear, you're absolutely right." To be honest, I really admire her. After nearly 60 years of marriage, she still finds something to fuss about every day. If it's not the fan, then it's the temperature in the house. In the winter, I like keeping the house a little warm, but she insists, "Cold weather is good for your health. If you keep turning the heater on, you'll just end up catching colds all the time." I just smile and say nothing. Fine, if she likes the cold, I'll just wear more layers. But at night, once she falls asleep, I secretly turn the heat up just a little. The next morning, she wakes up well-rested and even says, "See, I told you sleeping in the cold is much better." I just nod. "Yes, dear, you're always right." See, the important thing isn't about who's right or wrong. It's about making sure we're both happy. The fan wars. My wife loves having the fan on full blast at night, says the air circulation helps her sleep better. Me, I'm old, too much wind, and I wake up with aching joints. If I ask her to turn it down, she waves me off. "If you're cold, just grab another blanket. Stop complaining." Fine, I stop complaining, but I have my ways. Every night I let her set the fan however she likes. But once she's asleep, I quietly turn it down. Just a little, not enough for her to notice. In the morning, she stretches and sighs contentedly. "See, isn't it nice to sleep like this?" I just smile and nod. "Yes, dear, you're absolutely right." Honestly, I admire my wife. Nearly 60 years of marriage, and she still finds something new to fuss about every day. If it's not the fan, it's the thermostat. In the winter, I like the house a bit warmer, but she insists, "Cold weather is good for your health. If you keep the heater on all the time, you'll get sick." I just chuckle and say nothing. Fine, if she likes it cold, I'll lay her up. But at night, once she's asleep, I sneak over and turn the temperature up, just a little. The next morning, she wakes up refreshed, stretching happily. "See, I told you, sleeping in the cold is the best." And I just nod. "You're absolutely right, dear." See, in marriage, it's not about who's right or wrong. It's about making sure we both stay happy. The window story. My wife always likes to keep the windows open, saying that fresh air makes everything more pleasant. But for me, it's a problem. If the wind blows in, my back aches the next morning. If I close the window, she shoots me a glare and opens it right back up, grumbling, always shutting everything up like a dungeon. Living at home feels like being in prison. I knew arguing wouldn't help. It would only make her more stubborn. So, I came up with a plan. The next day, I didn't close the window. I left it wide open, just as she liked. But then I pulled up a chair and sat right by the window, pretending to read the newspaper, with my legs stretched out, blocking the walkway. She passed by a few times, got annoyed by the obstruction, and finally huffed in frustration. With a big sigh, she shut the window herself and even scolded me. "If you're going to sit there, close the window. You'll catch a cold." I looked up at her, nodded, and said, "You're absolutely right." And just like that, problem solved. No arguments, no debates. She closed the window herself. Most importantly, she believed it was her decision, not something I forced her to do. You know, after many years of marriage, I've realized something. Arguing never solves anything. It only adds stress. So instead of fighting back, I let her forget her anger on her own. Once, she nagged me for an entire afternoon because I forgot to take out the trash. I didn't argue, didn't explain myself. I just sighed and muttered, "If only we had someone in this house who was the absolute best at remembering to take out the trash, I wouldn't get scolded so much." She paused for a moment, then burst out laughing. "Fine, just remember next time." And that was the end of it. No argument needed. But that doesn't mean I back down from everything. I never give in to unreasonable things. I just handle them in a way that lets her realize the truth without feeling forced. If I tell her directly, "You're wrong," she'll instantly push back. But if I let her come to the conclusion herself, she'll accept it much more easily. The key? Humor. Once, she got mad at me over something trivial. Instead of defending myself, I just sat there, sighed dramatically, and mumbled, "Well, that's it. I guess I'll be sleeping on the couch from now on." She looked at me for a moment, then burst out laughing. "Go ahead. Let's see how long you last out there." And just like that, half of her anger disappeared.